wife Lynn and 3 sons. He studied electronics in college and felt at home in recording studios of the 60s, playing and overdubbing every instrument and multi-tracking his vocals. He had a talent for writing. He's a Rebel and Hello, Mary Lou are his most famous compositions. But his real gift was his unique voice. Looking at some clips of you, especially from way back in the early 60s, the skinny kid coming out, belting out these songs, and it looked like you were going to collapse any minute, break down, start weeping uncontrollably.
Well, that's legitimate. I mean, I get that deep into a song.
I must be seeing things, oh no, it can't be true. I must be hearing things when I hear her say to him, I
really did, where I'm spent. I still am now. When I do a show, I don't have anything mentally or physically left to give when that show is over. I want to give it all away.
In 1962, the Academy Awards, this big Hollywood production of Town Without Pity, you step out, you do the song, you're like 21 years old. Very, very unusual at that time for a pop star to be doing a song on the Oscars, right?
young and so in love as we, and bewildered by the world we see.
I'll never forget the director coming up to me, and he said to me, now, Mr. Pitney, what we want you to do is we want you to sing the first half of your song up here. Then we want you to walk down these 6 steps to go over to where Mr. Hope is now. And I thought, this is it. You're going to tumble down there, first time out here, and you're going to be gone. It looked like I knew what I was doing, you know. I had no idea. I was completely a wreck.
When we hear you singing Town Without Pity, and the record is played everywhere in the world still to this day, it sounds very much like you're hurting. We feel the emotion. Where does that come from?
I am hurting when you hear it. We went into the studio in Los Angeles to record this at about 8 o'clock at night. So at about 4 o'clock in the morning, what started out to be When You're Young and So in Love As We became When You're Young and So... And they all jumped up. They said, that's it. That's what we're looking for.
No, it isn't very pretty, what a town without pity.
Did you do The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance? Did you get to do that because of the success of Town Without Pity?
Absolutely. Town Without Pity, because it made the film a success. We were inundated with scores from films that were being sent in. And when that one came in, it was impossible. I mean, you couldn't turn it down. It was Bacharach and David that wrote it. John Ford directed. Jimmy Stewart, Lee Marvin, and John Wayne in the film. I mean, pretty heavy-duty stuff.
The man who shot Liberty Valance, he shot Liberty Valance. He was the bravest of them all.
How did it feel in November 1962 when the #2 record on the charts, the #2 record is Only Love, and #1 is He's a Rebel. So the song you wrote keeps you out of the #1 slot.
I mean, people thought that the #1 was important to me, to have my own song going at #1. I couldn't care less. To have 2 songs like that on top of the charts and be creatively involved in both of them, I thought was just terrific.
How do you get to be voted the top singer in Italy in 1964? No offense, but how does that happen?
The wonder of singing in Italian is that every word ends in a vowel. And for a singer, to have every word end in a vowel, it's terrific. And the type of songs that they loved are what I call bravo songs. And the first time I was there, and I was singing, E se domani io non potessi rivedere te, mettiamo il caso. And the audience went, bravo, Pitney! And I thought, wow. And I really, really, really loved it.
Is it true that there are somewhere in some vault, there's some material that's never been released that has you and the Rolling Stones together singing?
Apparently, yeah. I think it was the Not Fade Away session. And they came in with 1 song. They didn't have anything for a B-side. So what they did was just said, let's do some blues chords, 12-bar blues. And I played piano. And Phil Spector, they have him down. It was funny, I was reading the credits on that LP. They have him down as playing maracas. And what he was playing was an empty cognac bottle with an American $50. That was his percussion instrument.
The song Backstage is very depressing. Do you really feel that way sometimes when you're out on the road performing?
Backstage, I'm lonely. Backstage, I cry. You've gone away and die a little out on that stage.
It's wonderful when you're performing and when you're giving it away, but then when that stops, everybody else goes home.
Why, with all of your worldwide popularity for 30 years, you're a big overseas concert draw, and in this country, your records are on the radio all the time, and we never see you interviewed ever, anywhere, anytime?
There's this one book that was out, like a Where Are They Now type thing, and it said, Gene is a recluse, and so who's going to call me to talk?
You know, there is something about the mystique of you not popping up everywhere.
Well, then maybe I should just stay where I am.
You can go away again now that you've talked to us.
Okay.